Hello, kings and queens. I'm super excited to share with you how you can heal your soldiers without using speed-ups. I've been working on this macro for a while, and I can't wait to show you how it works, step by step. First things first, you'll need the Macrorify app. If you're on an Android device or using an Android emulator on your PC, go ahead and install Macrorify. Make sure you give it all the permissions it asks for. It's super easy. I'm not going to go into that part here. If you get stuck, there are plenty of tutorials on YouTube that can walk you through it. Once you're in, sign up with your Google account. Here's the good news. Macrorify gives you 9 hours of free use every day, which resets. So that's 9 hours each day. Plenty of time to heal your soldiers, right? And just so you know, 1 reputation equals 1 hour of usage. Now let's talk about getting my macro. Head to the store. You'll find it as the second button at the bottom. Just type in the game name, Game of Empires, or search by developer name Royal07 and install that macro. Easy peasy. All right, with that set up, jump back to the Home tab and hit on Play Mode. You'll notice a little hand icon pops up on the edge of your screen. Tap it and you'll see the play button. Once you hit play, a settings window will pop up. Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it. So, here's the cool part. You'll see 2 macros in there. The first one is the healing macro, which is what you're here for. By default, it's set to heal 500 soldiers per batch, but you can totally tweak that. Want to heal 1,000 soldiers at once? No problem, just change the numbers to 1, 0, 0, 0. Simple, right? When you're happy with the settings, just hit save and the macro will do its thing. It might adjust your screen zoom a bit, so don't freak out. That's normal. It'll start healing in batches as you've set it up. And if you run out of resources or finish healing, it'll close the game and even lock your device to save battery. Speaking of saving battery, I've got your back there too. I added a setting to stop the macro if your battery gets low, like under 20%. But you can adjust that if you want. And remember, healing soldiers is all about teamwork. It depends on how fast your Alliance or Legion members click that Alliance help button. The more active your members, the quicker the healing. If you feel like healing 1,000 soldiers at a time is taking too long, you can always lower the batch size. This way, even a few clicks on the help button can finish up a batch quickly. It's all about finding the right balance for your Alliance's activity level. Oh, and here's a nice touch I've added. If someone summons an FC and a pop-up message appears while the healing macro is running, don't worry. My macro will automatically close the FC summon pop-up and continue healing. You won't have to keep watching the screen. It's all handled for you. Now let's talk about the second macro. This one's all about crystal farming. I think you're going to love it. It's designed to find and loot crystal-rich mines. All you've got to do is open the crystal building in the game, occupy any mine, and stay there. No need to exit the building. To get this going, click the play button again, and this time you got to select crystal farming macro at top. Then head over to the second tab, and you'll find the crystal farming macro settings. There are only 2 settings. One lets you pick the mine level from 2 to 11. 11 is the highest, of course. And the other is for the amount of crystals you want to loot. Just type in a number, let's say 100,000, and the macro will hunt for mines with at least that much to plunder. Just a heads up, the more crystals you set, the fewer targets you might find. But when you do, you'll be looting 20% of that amount. And here's a pro tip. You can avoid attacking your own server players to keep the peace and avoid unnecessary quarrels. I've already set this up for you by default, so you won't hit your own team. But hey, if you're feeling a bit ruthless and want to turn that off, just uncheck the setting and go wild. Your choice. After setting it up, hit save, and off it goes scanning, looting, and stopping when you've hit your daily limit. And just like before, it'll close the game and lock your device when it's done. One last thing. This macro is completely free. I'm not charging anything for it. And if anyone tries to ask you for money, saying it's from me, ignore them. You know what's up. Happy farming, everyone. Let's get those soldiers healed and those crystals looted.